On this episode of Still Loading Storytime. Hey guys, it's Josh, and welcome back to this new episode of Still Loading. This week's episode's a little bit different from the norm. You know, usually I've been doing this 40 for 40 series and everything, but I kind of had this idea, and my brother kind of helped me form it. I really wanted to see it through all the way to fruition. So, this week is Still Loading Storytime, and you know, what is that, you may ask? Well, a while ago, my brother and I came up with the idea that it would be really awesome to do dramatic readings of video game manuals. So this entire episode is devoted to the craziness of video game manuals and the fun we had doing it. But, you know, no video game manual, especially old ones, would really be complete without all the legal information on the very front. So, the first part of this, my friend Steve is going to read the legal information. So, Steve, take it away.
FCI! Please read this instruction booklet to ensure proper handling of your new game. Then save the booklet for future reference. Precautions. This is a high-precision game. Should never be played or stored in places that are very hot or cold. Never hit or drop it. Avoid touching the connectors. Do not get them wet or dirty. Doing so may damage the game. Do not clean with benzene, paint thinner, alcohol, or other such solvents. This is the official Nintendo seal of quality. This game is licensed by Nintendo for play on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This official seal is your assurance that Nintendo has reviewed this product and that it is met our standards for excellence in workmanship, reliability, and entertainment value. Always look for the seal when buying games and accessories to ensure complete compatibility with your Nintendo Entertainment System. Nintendo and Nintendo Entertainment System and trademarks of Nintendo of America, Inc. FCI is a trademark of Fujikasika Kuki Communications International, Inc. Headland is a trademark of T.E. Salt.
Thank goodness we know all of that now. We could have been sued. It would have been awful, just awful. So, thank God. But no, thank you, Steve, for reading that. To start this whole thing off, I want to start off with one of my personal favorite games, Ninja Gaiden. And for those who don't know, it is one of the most notoriously hard games on the NES. So, without further ado, let's kick this off. Let's hear from Andrew reading Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden! Prologue. The wind howls as two dueling ninjas glare at each other in the moonlight. Though these men seem like little more than shadows in the air, the moonlight reveals just for an instant a glint of light that proves to be the end of the contest. Ken, head of the Hayabusa clan, which has for generations been the guardian of the dragon sword, is defeated. Ken's son Ryu, after learning of his father's defeat, finds a letter. In it, Ryu is told that if his father does not return, he must take the secret dragon sword and go to America. Ryu senses danger awaiting him in America. What will be the fate of Ninja Ryu? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Damn it, Andrew! This isn't Dragon Ball Z! But I did really like it. So thank you. So anyway, on to another classic manual. And by classic, I mean the game's a piece of shit. The game is called Hide. And for those who have not heard of it, the Angry Video Game Nerd actually did a review on it, and it is a notoriously bad NES game. Like Ninja Gaiden is notoriously difficult, this one is notoriously bad. Notorious. Just one more for emphasis, yeah? Because that's not annoying, right? Notorious. So in any case, for Hide, my brother Mike was nice enough to lend his voice, and so here he is. Let's hear from Mike, reading Hide.
Okay. In the kingdom of Fairyland, 3 magic jewels were enshrined in the palace to maintain peace in the kingdom. Well, one day, the evil man broke into the palace and stole one of the 3 magic jewels. Without the 3rd jewel, the 2 remaining jewels lost their magic sparkle. The magic spells that sealed the power of Borealis, the most vicious demon in the whole kingdom, was broken. During the turmoil which followed, the last 2 jewels were stolen. Borealis cast a special magic on Princess Anne, turning her into 3 fairies, and hid her somewhere in the kingdom. And then let loose a horde of monsters across the land, and became ruler of the kingdom. Well, finally, the young knight Jim stood up and took action to restore the peace in the kingdom. He bravely made his way through the wilderness and in full armor to fight the monsters.
I made it through the wilderness, but I really hate Hide. No, I'm not going to sing that anymore. But no. So thank you, Michael, for reading that. Just that last little bit inspired me so much. For those who need some extra, for those who need some extra inspiration this evening, this day, yeah, whenever you're listening to it, maybe you should hear some of this. It's bound to give you some confidence. This is Chad reading Kirby's Adventure, also a classic NES game. Chad?
Light years away on a tiny little star, not visible from Earth, is a magical, peaceful place known as the Dreamland. The beings that inhabit this wondrous world live in a blissful existence that centers around eating, sleeping, and playing. An example of their carefree customs include the traditional after-lunch feast nap. After they awaken from their nap, the Dreamlanders discuss their dreams and fervently hope that each other's fondest wishes come true. One day, a young Dreamlander named Kirby awoke from his after-lunch nap, feeling just terrible. What happened? He wondered to himself. I didn't have any dreams during my lunch nap. This lack of dreams left Kirby feeling very uneasy. After talking to some of his friends, he found that the problem was much more serious than he had thought, for they had not experienced any dreams either. Something must have happened to the Dream Spring, they exclaimed in unison. The Dream Spring is a magical well. There's a reservoir for all the dreams of the inhabitants of Dreamland. Dreams also flow out of the Dream Spring and envelope Dreamland, granting all the sleeping beings enjoyable dreams. Legends told that the Dream Spring was created by a magical artifact known as the Star Rod. The sparkling star on the tip of the scepter was an actual fragment of a star that landed in Dreamland in the distant past. The Star Rod now provided energy to the Dream Spring and served as the very symbol of Dreamland itself.
Chad, I said I wanted confidence. We worked on this, buddy. Come on! It's alright. We'll work on it later on. So, in any case, let's move on to the next one. So let me check my notes a little bit. Let's see what the next one is. Wait, is this serious? Hey, are you sure this is the next one? Wait, seriously? So, we're really gonna use that one? Oh, okay. Alright. So, the next one apparently is me. I don't know how I feel about this. Well, this next selection is Adventures of Lolo, read by me. To save the country of Eden from the great devil's destruction, the King of Eden dispatched Princess Lala to seek help. Princess Lolo was requested to accompany Lala back to Eden. On the way back, the great devil kidnapped Lala right in front of Lolo. To save Eden and rescue Lala, Prince Lolo went to the devil's haunted castle. Lolo is not blessed with strength or agility, but he possesses great courage, high EQ, and a lot of patience. Can Lolo save Lala after solving an almost endless series of mazes? Alright, nothing to hear here. Move along. Alright, so let's move along. And, let's keep on going. For this next one, we are going to be hearing my buddy Greg. Now, Greg did another reading you'll hear a little bit later on, and both are pretty freaking awesome. For this one, he's reading the NES Open Tournament Golf Manual. And this game is pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. You want to play some golf on the NES? Let's go play some friggin' golf. I can't do voices. What do you want from me? So, that's why I only have one reading in all this. Count your blessings. Alright, let's hear from Greg for NES Open Tournament Golf.
Hello, fellow golfers! I've always wanted to participate in a big-time golf tournament with course locations in different countries, but I never thought I'd get a chance to do it. Well, a few months ago, I was surprised by an invitation to participate in the NES Open Golf Tournament. The competition is going to be tough, as Steve, Mark, Tony, and Billy have more experience than I do. But I'm asking all of you who have NES Open Tournament Golf game packs to help me become a $1 million tournament player. Together, I know we will be victorious! Now, let's go play some golf.
From 18 holes of golf to 8 eyes, it's the worst segue of all time. That's right, the next game is 8 eyes on the NES. You're going to see a lot of these games are from the NES, or the Nintendo Entertainment System, for those who don't know. And the main reason for that is all the localizations are batshit crazy, and I love them. So, my friend Ben here was nice enough to do a recording of the game 8 Eyes, so let's hear it.
The story. After hundreds of years of chaos, mankind has finally emerged from the ruins of nuclear war. This world of the distant future has once again flourished under the guidance of the great king who harnessed the power of the 8 eyes to rebuild the planet. These strange jewels of power were formed at the eyes, or centers, of the 8 nuclear explosions which nearly destroyed the Earth. In the wrong hands, the 8 eyes could cause untold destruction, and now they have been seized by the great king's 8 dukes in a desperate bid to gain control of the world for themselves. They have banished the king to the nuclear wasteland, and already their squabbling threatens to plunge the world into war once again. The task of retrieving the 8 eyes falls to you, Orin the Falconer, the bravest and mightiest of the king's guardsmen. With your fighting Falcon Curtis, you must penetrate each of the 8 dukes' castles. There you will face the duke's soldiers and battle strange nuclear mutants such as living skeletons, giant wasps, and mudmen. You must defeat the monstrous boss of each castle to retrieve the jewel of power he guards. Then, to complete your quest, return the 8 eyes to the altar of peace to await the return of the great king, so that he may finish the rebuilding of Earth. Your reward will be the eternal gratitude of all mankind.
8 eyes, one look at you and we got to move on with the show. Alright, so that was 8 eyes read by Ben. Thank you very much, Ben. And this next one we're going to move on to, dramatic readings of video game manuals just really would not be, a thing if we didn't do at least one impression, And we'll let you guys decide what this impression is, but for this next manual, you'll be hearing from Andrew again doing a reading of Caveman, or I guess Caveman Games. I don't know, the name's stupid, you can look it up, I'll have it in the show notes, I don't know. Andrew, take it.
Caveman Games. In the dawn of time, primitive cavemen roamed the earth with some pretty gnarly creatures. Not that cavemen weren't pretty gnarly themselves. They weren't real smart. They were actually pretty stupid. They had no sense of fashion, mostly because there were no malls to shop at. And they looked like a cross between a gorilla and the ugliest person you know. For them, survival was a full-time job. But as always, there was some party animals in the bunch. It was a rebel mob of cavemen that decided to turn the dangers of everyday life into a competition to find the best athletes of the tribe. They called it the Caveman Games. 6 top cave athletes competing in 6 grueling events. It's party time in Caveland, and you're invited.
That just walked right into my heart. And another thing that walked into my heart is my love for cartoons. A lot of you people listening probably have an affinity for, those classic 90s cartoons, maybe 80s, Transformers, G.I. Joe, that good shit, But I'm talking about 90s stuff right now. Actually, this one might have started in the 80s. I don't remember. DuckTales. Woo! But no, that's not the one I'm talking about now. This one I'm talking about is Darkwing Duck, another classic Disney cartoon from, their Saturday morning or whenever it showed, whatever day it was on. But Darkwing Duck is another awesome cartoon, and you know what? It's got a pretty awesome manual. So here's Carly reading Darkwing Duck.
Ah, good to see you again, Darkwing. I'm afraid that Shush is once again in need of your unique talents. A mysterious crime wave has swept across our fair city. We believe that these crimes are the work of notorious criminal organization Fowl. The Liquidator, Quacker Jack, Wolf Duck, and other foul agents have been looting various parts of the city. These robberies may be part of a larger plan by Fowl to seize control of St. Canard. Do whatever you think is necessary to retrieve the loot and bring these fiends to justice. The fate of the city is in your hands. Good luck, Darkwing.
So, the whole time I just kept thinking about the Darkwing Duck theme song, right? But for some reason all I could hear in my head was the Captain Planet theme song, which is, not the same. But then it got me thinking, Captain Planet, the show was all about, being environmentally conscious and saving the planet and whatnot. And, do that, you need to use less fossil fuels and, just gas and fuel in general. Which leads me to my next game, Rocket Ranger, because, rocket fuel. It worked out perfectly. It was totally logical to get from Darkwing Duck to rocket fuel, which then, of course, is Rocket Ranger, and that's our next game. So, Rocket Ranger is the next manual you're going to be hearing a reading from, and my brother Mike was nice enough to read this one as well.
The year is 1990. Low in the night sky appears an alien moon from which waves of ships descend upon Europe. Their occupants establish a new country called Greater Lutonia. The evil Lutonians, led by Colonel Cragg, set out to conquer the world. In the wee hours of the morning, the Lutonians landed a Zeppelin in Washington, D.C. and kidnapped Dr. Barnsdorf and his beautiful daughter, Jane. It's all up to you, a young American scientist, and your newly perfected rocket-powered flying suit. Only you, by becoming Rocket Ranger, can rescue the Barnsdorfs and save the world from the oppressive rule of the Lutonians. Go to it.
We've been hearing a lot of obscure NES manuals lately, just games that not a lot of you have ever heard before, including myself. I've never played Rocket Ranger or 8 Eyes or anything of the nature. So I decided, well, I shouldn't say I decided, but, I really want to get back to some of those classics, There's a lot of great NES games that you have just never heard the manual dramatically read before. And, that is an important thing to hear at least once in your life, right? So, without further ado, let's hear River City Ransom, one of the best beat-em-ups on the NES, read by Driana.
River City Ransom. Panic in River City. To the citizens of River City, I hold your high school captive with my gangs of students and vicious bosses roaming the streets. Nobody can stop me now! Meet my demands, or else! Slick, the meanest, most powerful gang lord in River City, has issued this ultimatum, and the entire town is powerless in a grip of fear. Fortunately, Alex and Ryan weren't in school the day Slick took over, but now their fellow students are prisoners, including Ryan's girlfriend. It's up to our two young heroes to battle their way past several dangerous city gangs, then defeat the gang lord to free the students of River City High and restore the peace to the panic-stricken populace.
That was River City Ransom, and I love River City Ransom. And from one classic to another, we actually are having Driana and Andrew read this one. For this next manual, we're going to be reading Maniac Mansion, once again on the NES, just like all the others. Maniac Mansion is a really primitive point-and-click adventure game for the NES, which, normally you're used to seeing on PCs. I did an episode on it a couple whiles ago. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I do a lot of episodes. But this is Andrew and Driana together reading Maniac Mansion.
Maniac Mansion! There are weird people living in Maniac Mansion. Dr. Fred, a retired physician turned mad scientist!
Nurse Edna, a former healthcare professional who's as strange as the good doctor.
Weird Ed, a teenage commando with a hamster fetish. And then there's Dead Cousin Ted and the Tentacle. And somebody or something else.
And what's a nice young cheerleader named Sandy doing in Dr. Fred's basement?
Your goal is to direct a team of 3 local teenagers, including Sandy's boyfriend, Dave, through the mansion to rescue Sandy. As you explore, you'll meet all the strange inhabitants of the mansion, and you'll discover Dr. Fred's ambition to control the world, one teenager at a time.
Oh dear.
Wait, are you sure they can say kinky on mic? No, I know I say fuck on the mic a lot, but that's not sexual. It is sexual? When the fuck did fuck become sexual? That's what it... Oh. Well, is it okay if we keep it on? Do kids listen to this? Do they listen to this? Probably not. Oh. Alright, well. Thank you, Driana and Andrew. And to kind of wrap up this Andrew and Driana block of amazing manual readings, we're going to hear one last one from them, and this time it's going to be Barbie.
Barbie, dream on. It's almost time for bed. I'm so excited I can hardly sleep. I've got a really big date planned tomorrow. Having lunch at the soda shop, going swimming at the beach, and buying a new outfit for my date with Ken tomorrow night. We're going to a big party. Well, I better get some rest. Maybe I'll try to read a few more pages from my book about mermaids first. Maybe not.
As Barbie drifts off to sleep, she has the most amazing dream. Now you can make that dream come true. Help Barbie travel through magical dream worlds filled with fun and adventure. Along the way, you'll encounter dozens of mysterious obstacles and hidden surprises. Use your charms to overcome them and keep an eye out for the dream-ups and glamour items that earn you extra time and points. At the end of each world, one piece of Barbie's enchanted ball gown ensemble will be waiting for you. Collect them all, and Barbie's off to the fantasy ball with Ken! Barbie's counting on you!
Thank you so much, Rihanna and Andrew, for all those amazing readings. And to wrap up this episode, I have one more for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of Still Loading Storytime. I do plan on doing it again, and for our last reading today, you're going to be hearing from Greg, doing Clash at Demon Head.
In the year 199X, okay, a secret commander, Saber Tiger, is engaged in savage war with the Demons Battalion. Now, the Saber Tiger's youngest leader, Bang, right, played a very large role in this one. Alright, he was admired by people, that's all I gotta say. After the completion of one campaign, Bang and his girlfriend, Mary, you know Mary, they're enjoying this really long way to vacation on the beach. Suddenly, Of course, they receive an urgent communication from headquarters. It reads, and I'm not joking about this right now, you can look it up, emergency code number 2568623. The inventor of the Doomsday Bomb, you heard of that, Professor Plum, is being held by the enemies atop Demon Head Mountain. It appears that the world is doomed unless Earth surrenders. I don't think so. If the bomb explodes, the Earth will be a dead planet. A mass attack on Demon Head is impossible, for the enemy vows to detonate the bomb on sight. Our colleague, Joe, he's on the inside, we like Joe, has failed to return from his reconnaissance mission. Now Bang is out to rescue Professor Plum and save the planet. Now, you've got to get to Demon's Head Mountain at once. In the ruins of Demon's Head, there dwells a fearsome demon that has terrified generations of people. Now Bang, and Bang alone, must set out on a daredevil mission to these unknown lands and seek to rescue Plum and deactivate the Doomsday Bomb. As Bang sets off on this perilous journey, his girl, Mary, must remain behind, deeply concerned for his life.
And that is all I have for you today for this first episode of Still Loading Storytime. Thank you all once again for listening. To wrap this all up, I wanted to give a lot of shout outs to everyone who was nice enough to help me out with this episode. A lot of people pitched in and lent their voices to these weird readings of manuals, and I just want to give them all a quick thanks. So let's start this off. In no particular order, let's start out with Steve, who actually read first. So Steve didn't really have anything to plug personally, but he did want to plug the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. So please consider donating to them and check out their website. All the other people that read. Chad, who actually didn't want to plug anything. Greg, who read Clash of Demon Head and NES Golf. You can follow him on Instagram at bdoc511. That's at BDAWK511. Ben, who read 8 Eyes, you can actually find him on YouTube and Twitter. Twitter, he's Fabulous Fish, but it's not quite spelled exactly the way you would think. Fabulous is spelled GHABULOUS, and then for the word fish, GHOTI. You can also do the same thing, follow him on Twitter with that same thing. So once again, GHABULOUS, GHOTI, Fabulous Fish on YouTube and Twitter. You can follow Carly, who read Darkwing Duck, at CarlyNStar57 on Instagram. That's CarlynStar57 on Instagram. You can follow my brother Mike also on Instagram, Michael_A_Koval on Instagram. So that's Michael MICHAL_A_COVEL. That's where you can find him on Instagram. Also, big shout outs to Andrew and Driana, who gave a whole bunch of recordings for me to use, and I loved all of them. You actually will probably be hearing some of these outtakes, not just from them, but from everyone on a bonus episode. But you can follow Andrew at ColorblindMYK. That is actually his up-and-coming graphic novel he's working on. That's at ColorblindMYK, ColorblindMYK, and you can find that on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. He also has a Facebook page for his own little side business called Kinsey Customs. It's spelled KINSEY KUSTOMS. Kinsey Customs is his little side business project that will basically take your video game controllers and he will do custom art for you on them. Whatever you want, he will paint. So definitely give that page a look out. It's pretty awesome. I've seen some of his work and it's fantastic. You can find Driana on Instagram for all of her cosplay shenanigans at Anakotsu, which is at ANNAKOTSU. It's her own little cosplay page, and she does a lot of amazing stuff. Definitely check her out. She makes all of her own costumes, and she is seriously talented with it. So please consider looking up everyone I mentioned. They all did amazing work, and I can't thank them enough for all the help they gave me with this episode. I really love how it turned out. And so the last couple shout-outs are for some of my favorite podcasts. Two Guys in a Game and The Hotter Show, they've been some of my biggest supporters. Also, my original podcast partner in crime, The Apex and the Abyss. You can also check out Drinks with Larry. It's another awesome podcast I've been getting into. No Geeks Allowed, but no spelled KNOW. So that is No Geeks Allowed, spelled K-N-O-W. So yeah, No Geeks Allowed is an awesome podcast as well. Definitely also check out The Amazing Nerd Show, as well as the 4205 cast. Please consider giving all these podcasts a subscribe and give them a try, listen to them. And if you want to support this show, please remember to rate, review, and to subscribe to the show on iTunes. It really helps get the word out there. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at StillLoadingPod on all of them. And finally, you can reach out to me via email, stillloadingcontact@gmail.com. And that wraps it up. Thank you everyone for listening, and I will see you all next time.